Oh boy, Sony back at it again, stealing ideas from Nintendo. Not sure if it's any indication, but considering that the last idea that Sony took from Nintendo was the Wii, which came in the ultimate failure of PlayStation Move, I really don't think it's a good idea for Sony to keep copying Nintendo. The company that's been steadily going downhill since, honestly, I don't even know how long it's been. If you remember 7 months ago, I made a video talking about this new PS4 patent that Sony made. Well, it seems just recently Sony has made a patent for this controller that resembles a lot. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. It's a blatant copy of the Nintendo Switch controller. And by golly, oh my god, that junk looks terrible, my man. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. But there also seems to be some speculation that this has to be some type of new addition to the PlayStation Vita family, which honestly, I really don't even think Sony even supports the Vita. Goddamn. Which honestly, I don't even think Sony even supports the Vita anymore. But the original site that posted this patent up claims that it has something to do with the PlayStation Vita. I'll have links in the description down below. I can't read this shit because it's in Japanese, and I definitely will not Google translate this shit because I have some integrity. But from my very limited kanji learning, I know that this isn't a confirmation that it is a PlayStation Vita new model, but this article is just speculating that this could be a new mobile system into the PlayStation name. And since the last handheld that Sony put out was the PlayStation Vita, some people are calling it the successor to the PlayStation Vita, PlayStation Vita 2 or whatever. Which apparently the Switch and the PlayStation Vita are in some type of competition. Honestly, the Switch is obviously gonna win though. There's no doubts about that, but apparently I'd have to look more into this PlayStation Vita and Switch rivalry because there's apparently some whole backstory into this, but I couldn't be bothered to look it up because I really don't care. But let's talk about this patent, man. First off, this junk is just straight. It just looks straight butt. Legit. It looks like one of those, you know, those back in the PS2 days when they had those racing games and they had those steering wheel junks. It looks like a prototype for one of those. It looks like, hold up, nah, this junk looks like a GPS with two Wii nunchucks glued onto the sides. This junk is ugly. Yo, I can just imagine how awkward it would be just holding this thing. But hey, you know what? I can't even trip, yo, cause I'm sure when console controllers first came out, old heads were probably looking at this junk, thinking that it was whole trash and that it would never catch on. But if Sony actually came out with this, I'm acting like Sony is the first person to do this. The Switch, right? I'm sure if I got my hands on the Switch and actually started playing it using that controller, it might actually grow onto me. So I'm sure if Sony ever actually came out with this patent, that I'd possibly get used to it after a while. But the thing is, what are they going to do with this huge ass screen though? I don't know anything about the Switch, right? I'm not a Nintendo dude, I'm strictly PlayStation. But from my understanding, apparently the Switch utilizes that screen in the middle as a way to cast their games or whatever. So would this controller be like a second version of the PlayStation Vita's remote play feature? Or would it be its own console? Because we don't know. At this point, people are speculating, like I said before. Is it a successor to the PlayStation Vita? Is it a new PlayStation 4 controller? Because honestly, looking at this, I don't see a place where you'd insert a cartridge or a disc anywhere. So it does definitely look like it's going to be a PlayStation 4 controller accessory, new controller or whatever, because I don't see a place where you'd insert a game inside unless there's some type of secret compartment or whatever. That would be an interesting new perspective to have a controller that also kind of works as a monitor. Like I said, the Nintendo Switch did it first, well, at least it did it in a widestream sense, because I'm more than sure there might have been some other console that did the same thing. But, you know, compared to other dudes in the community, I'm relatively new to the whole gaming scene. But yeah, man, what do you guys think about this patent, dog? Really, I just want to shit on this thing so badly, right? But honestly, if Sony does come out with this and it's good, I know dudes are going to be clowning me in the future if I talk trash about this console, about this controller, console, or whatever, handheld. I don't know. We don't know what this junk is right now. What we have to remember is that companies make patents like clockwork, right? The patent that came out 7 months ago, that might not be made. This might not even be made. It's just in whatever pre-prototype phase is. So we might not ever see this idea come to fruition. But it does seem like a good idea. Really, I can't really say it's a good idea because I don't know what the idea is. PS Vita successor or new PS4 controller? What do you guys think about this? It has been your boy Sekeeto, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.